The Philippines has yet again captured global attention with the arrest of its former president Rodrigo Duterte by the International Criminal Court. As he nears his 80th birthday, this March 28, Duterte has become the first Filipino and first Asian former head of state to face charges before the ICC. Currently detained in The Hague, he awaits trial for alleged crimes against humanity. The journey to this moment is a complex one. Let's look at the events that led to his detention in The Hague. Rodrigo Roa Duterte served as vice mayor and mayor of Davao City for over 25 years, from 1988 to 2016. In 30th of June 2016, Rodrigo Duterte burst into the global stage when he became the 16th president of the Philippines, making waves with his tough talking persona. On July 1, just days after taking office, he launched his infamous war on drugs, also known as Plan Tokhang. This campaign aimed to tackle illegal drugs and criminality, but quickly became one of the most polarizing chapters in the Philippine history. By August 2016, just a few months into the Duterte administration, the Philippine Senate began hearings on human rights concerns related to the war on drugs. These hearings were led by Senator Leila de Lima, who chaired the Senate Committee on Justice and Human Rights. She had previously served as Secretary of the Department of Justice from 2010 to 2015 and Chairperson of the Commission on Human Rights in the Philippines from 2008 to 2010. One of the notable cases handled by De Lima as chairperson of the CHR is the extrajudicial killings in Mindanao by the Davao Death Squad. Among those who testified in the Senate hearings was Edgar Matubato, a self-confessed hitman. In September 2016, Matubato testified about his alleged involvement with the Davao Death Squad and implicated then-President Rodrigo Duterte in extrajudicial killings. A retired police officer, Arturo Las Cañas, is one of those named by Edgar Matubato and allegedly leader of DDS. In October 2016's Senate hearing, Las Cañas testified and denied the existence of DDS. By March 2017, along with persistent death threats, a non-bailable arrest warrant was issued against Matubato. He went into hiding with the assistance of Catholic priests to ensure his safety. He is now residing in an undisclosed location outside of the Philippines and has since provided a deposition to the International Criminal Court regarding his allegations. Senator De Lima was arrested due to allegations that she was accepting bribes from prisoners while she was the Secretary of the Department of Justice. She was also identified as one of the key people in the drug matrix released by the Duterte administration. Arturo Las Cañas also reappeared in the Senate hearing and recanted his previous testimony. In a 6-hour televised Senate hearing, Las Cañas admitted that the DDS was indeed real. The killings were allegedly executed by the Davao Death Squad during the Duterte's term as early as when he was a mayor and vice mayor in Davao. The retired officer said he lied at first because he feared for his life and the safety of his family, but later realized that he could not take his evil side to the grave. With Senator De Lima is already in jail, the Senate hearings related to the war on drugs was abruptly discontinued. In an interview to Senator Panfilo Lacson, who was then chairman of the Senate Committee on Public Order and Dangerous Drugs, quote, "We don't see any point of pursuing the investigation. There's no independent evidence other than what we had already testified on." In April 2017, Jude Savio, a Filipino lawyer representing Edgar Matubato, filed a case against then President Duterte at the ICC, accusing him of crimes against humanity. This was later backed by former Senator Trillanes and Representative Alejano, who submitted additional evidence in 2017 to the ICC. In Feb 2018, the ICC's prosecutor announced that there will be preliminary examination into Duterte's war on drugs. In response, then President Duterte announced in 2018 that the Philippines is withdrawing from the ICC due to baseless, unprecedented, and outrageous attacks by UN officials and ICC actions that failed to follow due process and presumption of innocence. The Philippines' ICC withdrawal took effect a year later, which is in March 2019. In September 2021, 3 years after the preliminary examination was announced, the ICC Pretrial Chamber 1 finally authorized a full investigation on the case in the Philippines. The ICC temporarily suspended its investigation into Rodrigo Duterte's war on drugs in 2022. This pause occurred after the Philippine government requested a deferral, arguing that it was conducting its own investigations into the alleged crimes. However, in early 2023, the ICC resumed its probe, stating that the domestic investigations were insufficient to address the allegations of crime against humanity. On the 10th of February 2025, the prosecution filed an application for a warrant of arrest for former President Duterte, pursuant to Article 58, Section 7 of the Rome Statute. On March 7, 2025, former President Duterte departed from Ninoy Aquino International Airport in Manila and arrived in Hong Kong later that morning. He attended and spoke at an event for OFWs, which also served as a campaign rally for PDP Laban senatorial candidates ahead of the May elections in the Philippines. On the same day, the ICC Pre-Trial Chamber 1 issued a secret warrant of arrest for the former president, which was reclassified as public on 11th of March 2025. Former President Rodrigo Duterte returned to the Philippines from Hong Kong on March 11, 2025, landing again at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport around 10 a.m. He was then taken to the Villamor Air Base, where he was held in custody under an ICC warrant. Later that evening, at 11 p.m., Duterte was flown to The Hague aboard a chartered Gulfstream G550 with tail number RPC 5219. The flight included a stopover at Dubai's Al Maktoum International Airport for refueling and airspace clearance. Departing Dubai at 3:58 p.m., the plane arrived at Rotterdam The Hague Airport on March 12, 2025 at approximately 11:55 p.m. Philippine time. Upon arrival in the Netherlands, Duterte was transferred to ICC custody. On March 14, 2025, he appeared via video link before the ICC's pre-trial chamber, presided over by Romanian-born Judge Lulia Antonella Motoc. During this session, the court confirmed his identity, outlined his rights, set the schedule for confirmation of charges hearing, and presented the charges. He was informed that He stands accused as knowledge indirect cooperator for the crime against humanity in two instances. A. Murder of at least 19 alleged drug pushers or thieves by the Davao Death Squad between 2011 and 2016. And B. Murder of at least 24 other alleged criminals between 2016 and 2019 when he was president. The next major step is the confirmation of charges hearing, which is scheduled for September 23 to 2025. At this hearing, the ICC will determine whether there is sufficient evidence to proceed to a full trial. Vice President Sara Duterte, the daughter of the accused former President Rodrigo Duterte, has also recently announced that the Duterte's legal team for the ICC trial will be headed by British-born international criminal lawyer Nicholas Kaufman.